Mondays. Lafayette Democrats honor their own at the first annual Lifetime Achievements Awards dinner. And more local, state, and national news tonight on Blue Mondays for January 12, 2009. Good evening and welcome to an all-new season of Blue Mondays. We're happy to be back here in our home on AOC Channel 15 on the second and fourth Monday nights of each and every month at 9 p.m. We were able to take the last 6 months off to work on the elections, and now we're back, and hopefully better than ever. But we'll let you be the judge of that. But enough of that. Let's go on to the headlines. First up, State Representative Rickey Hardy is making some news. The Daily Advertiser is reporting that State Representative Rickey Hardy is calling for the state to take over N.P. Moss Middle School and Alice Boucher and J.W. Falk Elementary Schools. Now, each of these schools are consistently underperforming as compared to the other schools in the parish, as well as in the entire state. Hardy, as you will recall, was on the Lafayette Parish School Board for quite some time, where he consistently fought to improve these schools and was often met with lack of interest or motivation. So he's taking this to Baton Rouge to continue to fight. Representative Hardy is not for 1 minute going to lose sight of the fact that at the end of the day, we're talking about our kids. We are talking about their future. Keep up the fight, Rickey. We're there with you. It should also be noted, I spoke with Rickey back a few weeks ago, and he assured me that he is going to keep filing the bill that will require all students to have and maintain at least a 2.0 grade point average in order for them to participate in any extracurricular activities. I'm so very impressed by this citizen legislator that he never forgets that the first mission of our schools is to educate. Perhaps soon his fellow legislators will recognize this. LUS Fiber to the home, almost ready to launch. Last week at the Consolidated Government meeting, LUS made a presentation to the council that they were almost ready to launch the fiber to the premises that has been so hard fought and won by our community. The Daily Advertiser summarizes their announcement in last Wednesday's newspaper as service packages start at $44 per month for phone, TV, and internet. You know, this is really huge, and it seems most of the comments are rather positive on theadvertiser.com. Looking further into the LUS Fiber website at lusfiber.com, you can see their bundle packages, and it's quite exciting looking at the pricing they have for right now. If we were, for right now, if I were to switch and switch over to them, if I were able to, I would save $25 a month right off the top and actually be getting better times, 15 better times, or faster connection to the internet. 15 times faster. I can't wait till they fully build out, and hopefully someday they will reach me. While their full channel lineup has not been released yet, it appears to me that they are going to really have a great package to offer and not only give us some savings, but they will give us quality that we so desperately deserve. Also at last night's council meeting, the customary passing of the torch was held. Don Bertrand, Republican, and having served as the council chair for the last year, passed the baton to Purvis Morrison. Purvis will take over as chairman. This is quite impressive. Morrison, as you may recall, sat on the Scott City Council for some time and then ran for this position a year and a half ago. Morrison is a strong advocate for the residents who live in the unincorporated areas and is working hard to build a consensus on the committee. It should also be noted that Jay Castile, a solid Democrat from District 2, was elevated to vice chairman of the council. Castile, a former firefighter turned contractor, is a lifelong resident of District Number 2 and beat out the former incumbent who had his seat a year and a half ago. Also of note, Don Bertrand was elected chairman of the Lafayette Public Utilities Authority, and a good friend of the show, Kenneth Boudreau, from District Number 4, was elected vice chairman of the LPUA. Congratulations, gentlemen. Very well deserved, and I'm quite sure your leadership will continue to pay huge dividends to our community. On to some national news. No room at the Blair House. It has been customary for decades that the incoming president-elect and his family would move into the Blair House, the presidential guest house in D.C., around the first of the year in lead up to the inauguration on January 20th. However, when the Obamas requested this from the Bush administration, the Bush administration refused. They requested this customary accommodation back in November, and at the time, according to Margaret Carlson of Bloomberg News, the Blair House was wide open with no bookings at all. The main reason the Obamas were looking for these accommodations was that the Obama girls were to begin school on January 5th, and they wanted to be settled in for their children's sake. However, in what appears to be a parting shot, the Bushes said no way. Here's a clip from Keith Olbermann's show.
Was unavailable to the Obamas until January 15th due to prior bookings. Let's turn now to Bloomberg News political columnist and the Washington editor of The Week magazine, Margaret Carlson. Good evening, Margaret.
Good evening, Keith.
So the Obamas are in a hotel for now, admittedly a lovely hotel, for another 9 days because the Bush administration says Blair House is unavailable. But as I've been hinting, you have information that suggests that's not entirely correct.
Well, I reported, but also the Washington Post reported on December 11th and 12th that there were no foreign dignitaries booked into Blair House during that period of time. It turns out that a former Prime Minister of Australia is going to be staying there overnight soon. However, not only is he a former, but I have the feeling they asked him to come and stay so that there might be some plausible reason for not letting the Obamas stay there. You know, Blair House looks small, but it's actually 119 rooms with 35 bathrooms. Howard wouldn't even have to share a sink with the Obamas. There's a dry cleaning, a florist, a beauty salon. There's everything there. It's a little town. But most importantly, it's secure. By having to stay at the Hay Adams, not only do the Obamas have to move twice, which no one likes to do, but the security cost to taxpayers is enormous because the area a block away from the White House is totally cordoned off with Jersey barriers and police cars and buses to keep it blocked off. And downtown is already completely jammed because so much of it is cordoned off. It would have been a small thing for the Bushes to say yes. They still have control over Blair House, and they decided to say no.
As one caveat here, given how unpopular John Howard is in Australia at the moment, it's possible that he's coming here to seek political asylum, so he might need the whole place.
Right. And that no hotel would take him.
Exactly. But what startles me, as what has startled me with so much of this administration, how could the Bush administration possibly think all this wouldn't get out?
Well, it doesn't matter that much anymore when we're being left with our retirement funds, you know, losing 50% of their value, and we're mired in 2 wars, one of which was unnecessary. Saying there's no room at the inn to the Obamas, you know, is just a feather.
In a prepared statement issued to MSNBC from the office of the First Lady, said that, and by the way, I am quoting here, the President and the First Lady have graciously offered Blair House to the Obamas beginning on January 15th. Really? Graciously? Graciously? I have to agree with Rachel Maddow here. First, this seems clearly to be a slap in the face to the new administration that's coming in. And secondly, to say the word graciously as describing yourself or actions that you perform, well, it seems a little bit arrogant to me. The facts are clear that this is customary and that the Bushes wouldn't let go of any powers until the last minute possible. The Obamas are now living in a hotel in Washington, D.C. The girls are now attending school, and the President-elect Obama is working tirelessly on putting together his cabinet. Speaking of the Obama cabinet, not missing a beat after the election, Team Obama quickly started to assemble their cabinet team, which would help fix all of the problems created over the last 8 years. And boy, there have been a lot of them. So far, several key appointments have been made, not the least of which is Senator Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, and perhaps most controversial as of right now is Leon Panetta as the head of the CIA. Panetta, as you may recall, was the chief of staff to President Clinton and clearly points to Obama's campaign promises to shake things up in D.C. and clean up the problems of the past. Panetta, with his experience in the White House, will give a huge, which is really a huge get for the CIA in helping them repair not only their image, but also in delivery on the intelligence needs for our country. Panetta is widely seen as an outstanding manager and has political connections that will definitely help clean up the CIA. It should also be noted that by breaking with the tradition of promoting from within, President-elect Obama is illustrating that he is not going to promote anyone who is involved in the drastic tactics of the Bush administrations, such as the warrantless wiretapping, torture, and allowing themselves and their reports to be manipulated to serve their political masters. Here's what President-elect Obama has to say about Panetta.
A lack of experience on intelligence matters. Sorry about that. I know this is tricky for you since you haven't announced him yet, but what does he bring to the table for you?
Well, as you noted, I haven't made a formal announcement about my intelligence team. That may be him calling now. Finding out where it's at. I have the utmost respect for Leon Panetta. I think that he is one of the finest public servants that we've had. He brings extraordinary management skills, great political savvy, impeccable record of integrity. As chief of staff, he is somebody who, to the president, he's somebody who obviously was fully versed in international affairs, crisis management, and had to evaluate intelligence consistently on a day-to-day basis. Having said all that, I have not made an announcement. When we make the announcement, I think what people will see is that we are putting together a top-notch intelligence team that is not only going to assure that I get the best possible intelligence unvarnished, that the intelligence community is no longer geared towards telling the president what they think the president wants to hear, but instead are going to be delivering the information that the president needs to make critical decisions to keep the American people safe. I think what you're also going to see is a team that is committed to breaking with some of the past practices and concerns that have, I think, tarnished the image of the agencies, the intelligence agencies, as well as U.S. foreign policy. Last point I will make, though, on this is that there are outstanding intelligence professionals in the CIA, in DNI, and others. And I have the utmost regard for the work that they've done, and we are committed to making sure that this is a team effort that's not looking backwards, but is looking forward to figure out how are we going to serve the American people best. Okay?
Thank you, guys.
Only one problem so far in his transition team, and that is Governor Bill Richardson. It seems Richardson is being investigated in his home state of New Mexico, where he currently serves as governor, for the appearance of financial favors from contractors working for the state. While Richardson maintains that nothing wrong happened here and that he will be exonerated of any wrongdoing, he didn't want to cause any problems for the incoming Obama administration. If this is the only problem that they face, I'd say they're doing quite well. Lafayette Democrats Lifetime Achievement Awards. Back in October, the Lafayette Democrats paused to recognize the outstanding leaders that Lafayette has produced. Honored at the event was former Governor Kathleen Blanco, teacher and teacher's advocate Melinda Mangum, former State Senator Edgar Mouton, and Mervyn Harmon. This was truly an amazing night, one that I'm very glad to have been a part of. Each one of these people inspire me greatly. And here are a few clips or highlights from that night. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to get started. My name is Fred Mills, and I'm so proud to be your MC tonight. I'm so proud y'all let me into Lafayette Parish. I'm from Breaux Bridge, and I was scared that Joey didn't even going to get a toll road here to get here, but I made it here. And it's an honor to be with all of you tonight, and I look forward to a really special evening. But as where's the TV cameras? Y'all let TV 3 in and TV 10. They must be here, huh? They're not here? Well, no, it's good news and it's Democrats together. That's why they're not here. If there was a problem, it's full of people. It's full of Democrats and good news. That's all we got.
My concern for this state and my love for the people of this state and my care for the things of this state have always been in my life from the time I was a young boy until now that I'm 79 of years, and I still have great love for this state and the people of this state. And I can only say finally that I have been blessed by those who took me and put me in the state legislature and in other different things where I could work for the people of Louisiana. I thank you all tonight. Enjoy, and you hear some good speakers. They're very good.
When I was first informed of this recognition, I burst out laughing. You must be kidding. How could anyone consider me in the company of Governor Blanco, Senator Mouton, Mr. Harmon? And I know you've all been in situations where people are introducing themselves. Hello, I'm Mike Skinner, I'm an attorney. Hello, I'm the sheriff. And then you see the person who is the teacher who lowers her head and she says, I'm just a teacher. When I tell you that raises my blood pressure to the top, but I will have to tell you that tonight I really feel like I am just a teacher. I am a teacher who has the privilege of sitting with a governor, with a senator who is a legend, and with a Tuskegee airman.
Personally, I believe that life here on this earth is a purposeful task, that God in His divine wisdom has assigned to each human being a specific role in life, that our individual roles are all different. We have different abilities, different skills, different likes and dislikes, different pigmentations of skin. But we all have the same obligation and responsibility to make this world a better place for all of us to live.
Good evening, everyone. Well, I'm the wrap-up speaker, I think. So I want to say a very special thank you to John. That was a beautiful introduction. When he and Mike Stagg called to say that the Lafayette Parish Democratic Party Executive Committee wanted to do something special and have me included, I got very excited, especially this week, because I heard that they were giving us something very nice. But when I heard that Sarah Palin had gotten $150,000 wardrobe allotment from the Republicans, I thought, my God, it's a little late, but I still want my Walmart clothing allowance right now. I need that so bad. I knew you'd come through. You know, just a few weeks ago, I was sitting at home watching television when I heard this bizarre news. John McCain was saying who he wanted as his vice president. He wanted a female, a governor, who was elected by defeating the good old boys, who is pro-life, pro-gun, a staunch supporter of the oil industry, and who raised a large family. My God, he really is a maverick. He wants to have a Democrat as his vice president. very, very quickly. This week, President Bush was in Alexandria. And I will tell you, just as a short a time as a year ago, when Baba Jindal couldn't get enough of President Bush, he didn't even show up in Alexandria to greet him this week. That's pretty sad. And you know, everybody's concerned about voter fraud, and we all need to be. But even David Vitter got up and made some big announcement that he was worried about people who were registering with made-up names. I mean, do you think that one of those registrants might have been one Wendy Cortez? You know, all kinds of things are happening that are so interesting on the political scene. Well, yesterday I heard that an irate protester tried to handcuff Karl Rove at a public event, and I got so scared because I thought it was Raymond. I thought right away to make sure he was still around. And then when Hugo Chavez called said that President Bush condemned him as a communist for nationalizing the Venezuelan oil company, he went on to say, after President Bush did his interesting deed this week, now that you have nationalized all the banks, I welcome you to socialism, comrade. Where is this world going? You know, as Democrats, we really cannot write this script any better. They are just doing it to themselves day in and day out and day in and day out. But, you know, all the more reasons that we really need to get Don Cravens and Mary Landrieu and Barack Obama elected. Now, seriously, folks, if I were to pick 3 people from this entire community, Democrats or Republicans, I would pick the 3 people that you have honored with me tonight. They are my heroes.
Special thanks to Mike Stagg, who chaired this event subcommittee of the Lafayette Parish Democratic Executive Committee. It was really a great night. And finally, as always, our clip of the week features Stephen Colbert and Alan Colmes. Take a look.
Nonetheless, I am thrilled to be back. A lot of big changes for the new year. For instance, over at Fox News, Hannity and Colmes has said goodbye to Liberal co-host Alan Colmes. Apparently, producers needed to make more room for Hannity's neck. Now, there has been a lot of speculation about where Colmes might go next. MSNBC, Air America Radio, or maybe back home to terrorize Smurf Village. Well, folks, I am proud to announce that Alan Colmes is joining me in my new program, Colbert and Colmes. Please welcome my new co-host, Alan Colmes. Alan, thank you. Thank you. I got a seat for you. Got a seat for you right there. Welcome, partner.
Thank you very much, Stephen. I'm looking forward to bringing some much-needed balance to your show.
Alan,
And that's it. That's our show. Thank you for joining us here on Blue Mondays. Blue Mondays is on the 2nd and the 4th Monday of each and every month right here on AOC Channel 15 at 9 p.m. And then it's going to be replayed several times throughout the week. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we'd like you to drop us a note if you can. Log on over to LafayetteDemocrats.org because we'd really love to hear from you. And click on to contact us and drop me a note. Let me know how you think the show went and what you'd like to see in the future. We'd definitely like to help you out on that. We will see you back on January 26th, where we'll take another close look at the world in which we live, and of course have coverage of the inauguration of our 44th President of the United States. It should be noted that the inauguration will be covered on really every channel, so we hope that you will be able to take some time off on the 20th, perhaps even keep the kids home that day, so that they can actually watch the transition of power. You know, a lot can be said about our country, and a lot of people will criticize us from time to time, I being one of them. I think that that's a vital part of our duties as an American citizen. However, the one thing that you have to be very, very proud of is this smooth transition of power that we go through every 4 years. I think that it's quite impressive, and it's definitely something that you will want to watch and remember for the history. I am Stephen Handwerk, and for all of us here at Blue Mondays, good night and take care of each other.